I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Don't go through a breakup alone. Click on the link in the description below to get a one-on-one coaching with me, or go to my website, askcraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth, and in this video I'm going to be talking to you about actions speak louder than words. So, one of the things that you want to be aware of during a breakup is the person's actions opposed to what they're telling you. Because a lot of times they may say things, but their actions are really showing you something completely different. And I came across a good email that I thought would help you guys understand the situation, what I'm talking about here. The email, I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it, is from a 20-year-old guy dating a woman the same age. Now, they've been together for 4 years. And he told me a little bit about her childhood. He said that her parents were married, but they were on again, off again, planning a divorce. And, so it seems like she grew up with a rough family life. And then he goes on to tell me that her mom treated her like garbage when she was a little girl. So that's pretty bad. I mean, if you're getting treated like garbage, you're going to feel like garbage, and you're going to internalize that. And over time, you're not going to feel good about yourself. You're going to be very insecure. Think about it. If your introduction to the world is that even your own mother and father don't think the world of you, don't make you a priority, in fact, they do the opposite, you're going to think, well, what they're saying and the way that they're treating me, it's because it's true, it's right. And it has a huge effect on our on our relationships, on our self-esteem, and our ability to feel loved, and our lovability. If your parents treat you like trash, you're going to feel like trash. You're not going to feel good about yourself. And it's going to be very hard to work through that in your adulthood because it's very traumatic. So he was telling me about the breakup, and he said she had started to be distant to me for the past 2.5 months, and I didn't understand why. She said that she loved me so much, this is during the breakup, but that we needed time to change and to be better persons because we were just hurting ourselves. It's interesting how 1 year ago she started to go on a diet. She was a little overweight, and one day, like a few months ago, she told me, "For the first time in my life, I feel good about myself after looking at me in the mirror." And after that moment, I realized there was a problem here. Also, I must say that she is so obsessed with her body weight that she weighs herself 4 times a day, and her mood depends on her weight for the next day. Wow. So that just goes to show you the level of insecurity that this girl is going through. Her mom made her feel like garbage, so now she doesn't feel lovable. And she's looking for ways to control that and make herself more lovable in her eyes. This is a distortion in her mind because she's convinced herself that her lovability really depends upon her weight. And when you start to tell yourself that in order to try and control the situation and give yourself a sense of control or power when you really feel powerless, you're going to distort your reality, which is what she's doing because she thinks that she's only lovable or only feels good when she's a certain weight, and it's affecting her mood to that extent. That's not healthy. So let me go on here. She told me that she didn't feel that my feelings were real for her, but that's her problem because I really love her. She felt like her happiness depended on what I do or say about her, even the most insignificant things. Well, that just goes to show, it's lining up with what I'm saying here, is that she's very insecure and she didn't get unconditional love from her parents, and you're seeing the symptoms of it. Okay? That's the root of it, and now we're going to see symptoms of it, and you're going to see some real problems coming up. Also, if we see this situation as a positive correlation, we can say that losing weight and her telling me about men chasing her is telling me something. Okay, so think about it. Now he's mentioning here that she's bringing up men chasing her. Why? Why would she bring that up? Seems to me like she's bringing it up because she doesn't feel good about herself. She's looking for validation through men being physically attracted to her. You're not going to get very far in life if you need other people to validate who you are and feel good about yourself. At this point is when I realized that she wanted someone else. I went to therapy with a psychologist, and we weren't wrong, because after 2 weeks after the breakup, one of my friends told me the truth. What he told me opened my eyes. He said that he saw her 3 times talking with the same guy, and that the guy is in her class in their university. He says the guy's name, we'll just call him Larry. Why not? Larry has a girlfriend and is a friend of his friend, and the friend's boyfriend. So Larry told his friend, hey, I don't know what to do. This girl is very sticky and clingy and attached to me all the time, and I have a girlfriend and she has a boyfriend, meaning the guy that I'm talking about, and I don't want to start a problem in here. So here we have some more reality distortion. Pay attention to what happened earlier and look at now. She's saying that she has all these guys chasing her. And why is she saying that? Because she doesn't feel good about who she is. She's trying to look for other people to validate that. But what is actually going on here? She's chasing another guy, who we called Larry. She's chasing Larry, who already has a girlfriend. And he's saying, I'm not interested in this girl. I have a girlfriend, and she has a boyfriend, and I don't want problems here. You see how twisted this is? What's really going on here? In her mind, she is completely distorted what's actually going on from what her mind believes. Now, I suspect there's some narcissism going on here, because narcissists tend to do something similar. Actually, let me move on a little bit here. She had already told me about Larry, but her version was different. She told me the exact opposite than my friend did. She told me that he was clingy, and also said, I feel bad about his girlfriend. Take a minute to really absorb that and really think about this. These are the kinds of things that, as a therapist, I'm able to spot. Very bizarre though, right? She's telling him, oh, there's this guy, Larry, and he's interested in me, and I don't know, I feel so bad for his girlfriend. But in actuality, it's the exact opposite. And this is something that narcissists tend to do. They tend to project, it's almost like they're guilty on some level, and they're unconsciously admitting what they've done. It's a little bit of a mind, well, let's just say it can really mess with your mind, huh? I'll watch my language today. I can't make any promises for the future. But honestly, this really made me angry. And I told him that because she's full of it. She's completely living in a distorted reality, and she's chasing other men while she has a boyfriend. He goes on to say, but the most important thing was that she one day told me there were other people that were making her feel good about herself, and after that I tried to do my best, but nothing worked. My friend also told me something very interesting. She was following him all the time, and he was trying to avoid her indirectly. More chasing on her part, and I bet she would say, "Your friend keeps following me." Not good. Not good, and it tells me she is not put together well. She's got a lot of issues she needs to deal with. She's not even close. Alright, let me move on here. I felt so secure with her that I never checked her phone. I trusted her blindly. She was so obsessed that one day I was going to go away with someone else. See, so she's also insecure. But you see, at the end, she was the unfaithful one, I think. And I agree. And I would be furious. Because she is completely lying about what's going on. And in her mind, she might even be lying to herself. Good chance that's going on here. Alright. After we broke up, I was strong at the beginning. She told me that when we were in her house, when I said, "Are you sure? Do you really want this?" She said, "No crying." So I went away, but I couldn't stand it when I was driving home. So I returned to her house to beg and plead. And he even said, "This is so embarrassing." I knocked at the door, and when she opened it, I started crying so hard that I could barely stand on my feet. Oh man, that's brutal. You want to go to Applebee's? I hear you can cry there and they don't throw you out. Oh man, dude. Oh, God. He said, I knelt while I held her with my arms. She didn't say anything. Then, please stand up. Don't do this. Oh, awful, dude. That's awful. I'm sorry. I'm laughing, but... Oh, God. I know what it's like. I embarrassed myself publicly. At least you were only at her front door. No, let me move on. She asked me if I wanted to come with me to my house, and I accepted. We talked for 4 or 5 hours, and she told me she didn't want to continue like this, suffering. She said that our relationship was monotonous. Her plan, supposedly, was that we needed to be emotionally healthy if we wanted to be in a relationship together. Also, she said that she didn't want to force the relationship to continue. I used the logical part, but of course, she didn't care. That's exactly what he said, and he knows because that's what I was going to say. She said that ending our relationship for now was the best option for the two of us. She said, I told her that it was okay at the moment, but she left. I couldn't sleep, so I texted her asking why several times. She answered back the first few times and then ignored me. So in the moment, I stopped texting back. After that, I was really angry and I said to myself, this isn't going to affect me. Yeah, right. And I was going to be a better person, so I started reading a book, doing CrossFit, and taking care of myself. I really want her back. I want to help her. I think she's confused, and I'm pretty sure she'll come back to me one day. Well, she might, but do you really want her back? She's not honest. She's not even honest with herself. And you really need to think about this when you're going to get into a romantic relationship with somebody that is essentially going to have your heart in their hands. They're not even functioning well enough to deal with their own heart. You really want them holding on to yours? Better think about it. And again, I bring up one of my lowest viewed videos is, am I ready for a relationship? And another one, choosing a good partner. Guys, you have to think about this. If you go to the car lot tomorrow and buy a car, you're going to think about the car before you buy it, right? You're going to really look at all the... You're not going to buy a car without inspecting and make sure there's no engine in it, or that the steering wheel is on the right side of the car, the correct side. In Europe, it'd be on the right side. In the correct side, wherever you're living. Or that there's no roof, or there's doors or tires. I mean, this is why you have to decide, are they a good person for a relationship? Choosing a good partner. It's one of my lowest viewed videos. How? You guys really have to think about this. Think about it. You spend more time investing in like a new shirt than you do in choosing a partner. You just see somebody that's attractive and you go by the outside. Well, you don't think about how they're functioning, their level of functioning, and their emotional availability or ability to communicate, stay faithful, loyal, honest. I mean, all these things. You spend more time like, does this shirt look good or does this one look good? Now, you need to invest in yourself and find somebody that's going to be a good fit for a healthy relationship. If not, you're going to have your heart stomped on. You're going to go through continued breakups if you don't look at the person and really think, is this somebody that I really want to be in a relationship with long term? Be careful about overlooking the red flags. So, he said, we broke up 3 weeks ago. Also, we do CrossFit, and I try to stay away from her when I see her at the gym. Sometimes she talks to me and waves, sometimes she doesn't. I don't understand. What is she trying to do here? The other day, she was very touchy and told me I was very handsome. She's all over the place. And to me, her behavior is very inconsiderate and completely selfish. Because she's not thinking about, you know, if I go over there and spend some time with him, he might start to get attached again or have hope that we might get together. She's very, what's the word I'm looking for? She's very impulsive. She's very impulsive with her decisions. She's doing whatever she feels in the moment and not thinking about the consequences of hurting him or herself or anything. And, you know, you need to really think about if she's emotionally healthy and ready to be in a relationship, because her behavior is nonsense. And she's telling him one thing, but then she's doing another. She's saying, you really need to take a look at somebody's actions versus their words in a relationship. And if they tell you one thing, is it lining up with what they're actually doing? Pay closer attention to the behavior. Because I could tell you you're the most amazing person in the world, but if I don't pick up the phone and call you or I want to see you, what does that tell you? Obviously I don't really mean what I say, or I don't believe it, maybe myself. Like I said, telling him that, you know, they need to be on a break right now to work on themselves, but her actions are really showing she's just chasing other guys, and she's more focused on that. She's living in a fantasy. She's not living in reality. She's distorting reality into some crazy fantasy where she is being chased by men and the object of their desires. And all of that stems from her early attachment traumas, and these are symptoms of it. And unless she really works on herself and deals with that, she's going to continue to do this in her relationships. And it's going to be destructive for her and whoever she dates. So, if you'd like to get my help personally, go to my website, AskCraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. If you like the video, put a like on there and make sure you leave some comments below. I do get in there and comment at times. And make sure you subscribe to the channel because I do post videos Monday through Friday. That's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth. I will talk with you soon.